So my name is Manuel Mejueiro. I'm the product manager for Connect Visualization. And in this session, as you can see here, we will be talking about Connect. In this specific use case, we will be discussing about visualization and some of the tips and tricks in order to create visualizations for yourself, but also for others. So this is just some examples of visualizations you can create with Connect. Just for example, you could create a dashboard, or you could create visualizations asset-oriented, process-oriented, or you can also build visualizations for specific user personas. If you want to create something for the maintenance team, from the financial team, you should be able to create visualizations for all these type of different user personas. And of course, also you can build visualizations from enterprise, so you can go from top level and you can navigate through your hierarchy in order to see all the details about your assets. So in Connect visualizations today, you can build, we have three different types of displays. We have a grid-style visualization. So in Connect visualization, we have three different types of displays. We have a grid-style dashboard. It's some kind of, it's a dashboard tool where you can drag and drop your content and it will be responsive. It means, I will show you an example, when you have different devices, if you are consuming this information from a video wall, from a tablet, from a mobile, the content will react, so it will be responsive. Then we have a canvas-style dashboard, where it's like a freeform sketchboard, where you can customize your content in many different ways. And then we have experiences. In this session, we will focus on grid and canvas and how you can build visualizations from different use cases and from different user personas. When you are building a visualization, we have different type of content, because in Connect you can have different type of data. So if we have time series data, process data, we have multiple time series widgets and graphics. So we have line charts, column charts. You can add all this content to your visualization and start the customization. I will show you a few examples later. If you have event data or MES data, we have different content types. We have efficiency, OE, KPIs, grid, and different ways to show or visualize the event data. Then, if you have engineering information, we have multiple different type of widgets. If you want to visualize documents, if you want to visualize 3D models, asset properties, etc., we have out-of-the-box content types you can quickly add to your visualization. And then we have others. We have map, you can also embed Power BI, and we have a lot of multiple graphics that you can add to your visualization in order to present the information in many different ways. And some of the new features we have released 1 month ago. So if you are familiar with the AVEVA portfolio, we have AVEVA System Platform. In AVEVA System Platform, we have an industrial graphic editor. It's an on-prem tool. It's a powerful tool. And maybe you have customers where they have already System Platform, OMI applications in touch for System Platform, and they already have graphics developed in that platform. So now, from 3 weeks ago, you can now reuse all the visualization content you have created previously in System Platform in order to visualize in Connect. So we have different use cases for this feature. One of them is if you have customers where they already have their data on-prem in the SCADA system. Now, of course, you can publish the information to Connect, so the data will be there. But also now you can reuse the same visualization for the operators that are familiar with this content. You can quickly just import this content. I will show you a video 1 minute, how easy it is to use that. The second use case we have is, in Connect we have a lot of content you can use in order to build your visualization. But now with this industrial graphic editor, it's a powerful tool. You can design whatever you want in order to create high fidelity visualizations in order to show your process. So now you can use the industrial graphic editor on-prem, build your custom graphics, and then upload to Connect and visualize the data. And then, of course, you can combine everything. So you can combine all the content we have in Connect with all the new graphics you can develop on-prem or reuse from System Platform. So I have here a quick video to show you how easy is that. So imagine you have a customer, they already have an application running on-prem. This is a water application for a customer. They already have some graphics already developed on-prem. So with this new feature, you can just install a utility for system platform, and when this utility is installed, you can just select the graphic you want, export to a format we can consume in CBS, and then you can just import. Once you import, then of course you need to link the properties with your data. Of course, this data can be published from system platform, but also from Pi. At the end, in Connect, you can have different ways to publish the data. So basically, you can see how easy it is. You have your graphics, you import, you export, you import, you configure the links, and then everybody accessing this solution from any device, from any location, how easy you can do in a few minutes, reuse your graphics developed on-prem, and then you can visualize on the cloud. Also, a new feature we are working on, if you are familiar with Pi Vision, this feature will be released in January next year, and it will be available for some customers in July. So this is the ability to, if you have Pi Vision displays, you can just using the same Pi to Connect agent. Today with the Pi to Connect agent, you can publish the data. So basically, you will be able to publish the Pi Vision displays. So there will be some additional demos, and we can show in the expo if you want. But basically, as you have seen previously, we can reuse all the graphics from system platform. Very soon, you will be able also to reuse all your Pi Vision displays, publish to Connect, and then everybody will have access without using your intranet and your Pi Vision tools. And then when you are building visualizations, so this is a self-service tool, so it's very easy to create a visualization. But you need to keep in mind, when you are building something for yourself, at the end, all these tools are flexible and exploratory, so you can quickly check what widgets are available. You can add a line chart, you can link data. You will find a lot of useful tools for you to create content for yourself. But when you are building content for others, usually you need to have a different builder mindset. Because basically, when you are creating visualization content for other users within your organization, basically you will try to empower them with actionable insights, or you will try to reduce the complexity for non-technical users. So usually the responsibility for someone that is building visualization for others is because you will ensure usability of this visualization, and then of course scalability, how you can build something that can grow through your organization. So usually when you are building a visualization for others, you need to understand what problem are you solving for the user, how this will impact your user, and of course, what is the delivery mechanism of this visualization? Will this be consumed in a video wall, in a device, in a tablet? So with all this information, and if you have the right skills, understanding of the data model, understanding of the UI UX mindset, you should be able to create visualizations that will help other users within your organization. And then some of the questions we have from our customers is, okay, you have grid and canvas, what should I use in order to build my visualizations? It will depend on the use case. So here you can see that different user personas, we have different needs, different requirements. And here I have a quick video also to show you the difference mainly between a grid visualization is responsive versus a canvas that is designed for a specific form factor. So let me also click this quick video. So basically here you will see a visualization that is already created. Right now this is in a 4K monitor. The content, you can see that is divided in 6 columns. But when you are consuming the same visualization in a different device, from 4K to full HD or from a tablet in landscape or portrait, you can see that the content will readapt automatically. So it's the same visualization that has been created with different content, but based on the device, it will be presented in a different way. This is what we call a grid visualization is responsive. Then we have the canvas style dashboard. This is a freeform, and this is usually when you build a canvas, usually you are targeting a specific form factor. So this is, for example, how it will look in a browser, and it will looks also okay when you are using an iPad in a specific position. But if you are looking to create a visualization for a specific mobile or a specific orientation of your device, you need to think about it in order to create something that will be easily consumed by your users. So you need to understand what are the requirements, how the users will be consuming this visualization in order to build something that will help them. Then in Connect, we have some features that will help you to build content that will scale within your organization. Some of the most important capabilities we have is the context. So when you are building a visualization, you can assign an asset and time context. And it's fully configurable. It means when you have your visualization and you will have different content, you can define if this content will follow the central context and the central time context. So you can have a visualization that is, if it's designed for a specific asset, maybe you will configure everything to follow the context. But maybe you will have some information that is not related to the selected asset, so it's fully flexible. So you can define at any level if the content will follow the context you have in your visualization. And then this is very important in Connect. We have the concept of a stream. A stream is a data point that could be isolated, but then the data points can be assigned to entities. Imagine you have a active power, and this active power is assigned to an asset. So it's very important when you are selecting all these elements for your contents. If you are using streams, they will be hard-coded. But if you are selecting asset streams, it means streams that are linked to a specific asset. So you could create a visualization for a turbine, and then where you are switching to a different asset, all the references will change automatically. So asset and time context, stream, asset stream references are important concepts you need to understand when you are building your visualization. And then, of course, when you are building content, you will try to reuse content in order to make something scalable through templates, etc. So you could create a canvas, and then you could embed this canvas into a grid. It means you can create small pieces of content, like a faceplate, etc. And then you can reuse this content within other visualizations. So you can try to create some kind of templatization of content in order to simplify and reuse across your organization. And then also when you are creating a visualization, this visualization can be somehow a floating visualization. Maybe you will create a visualization for yourself. Okay, that's okay. But if you are creating a visualization for a specific asset, you can link the visualization to the asset. So it means that when someone is selecting these assets, all the linked visualizations will be available. That's okay, you can create a visualization for a specific asset. But then in Connect, we have the concept of types. A type is some kind of template. So you will have maybe a template for a wind turbine, and then you will have many assets, instances from this type. So basically, when you are saving a visualization, you can link to an asset, but also you can link to a type. It means that this visualization will be available for all instances of the same type. So this is how you can try to reuse and to scale your content through your asset model. And then when you are selecting your assets, all the visualizations should be available. Also, as you can see, when you are building visualizations, backgrounds and images can make all the difference in order to create, let's say, beautiful and impactful content for your users. So here you can see a visualization that I have created quickly. In this case, I just added all the elements into the screen. That's okay. But you can see that maybe adding a background or adding some images or a layout, you can quickly change how it looks. And today, with all the industrial AI tools, you can create very nice backgrounds for your visualizations and apply them as a background. So you can explore all these new AI tools with third party in order to build or create images for yourself that will help to create a wow factor for your content. And then last part of my speech is to show you end-to-end, is 2 minutes video about how we can create a canvas for a specific asset. So here you will see that is self-service, so any user can go. I can create a canvas visualization. In this case, I want to assign this visualization to a specific asset. I want to select a time context. For example, I want to select the last hour. And then from here, this is a canvas. You can specify a size if you want. Maybe I want to set a background. So here you will see how easily it is to create a visualization. So I will import a graphic with it has a layout. I will add some text. You will be able to define all the UI, UX for all these elements, this font size, etc. So here I will speed the video so you will see how easy it is to create all this content. You will import an image, so this is a specific pump model. You will use some of the graphics we have or something that you have developed by yourself. You will link the data points. You will add some of the widgets we have for time series data. So you will add the data points. So here you will see how you can use all our tools in order to build a visualization for a specific asset. So here we can add some KPIs. If you have engineering data, you can just add the 3D model content type. It will automatically show you the location of the asset. Maybe you want to add a tree map. So you will see that we have a lot of different content types you can use to build your visualization. So once you have developed your visualization, you can save. You can save for yourself. Maybe it's a private visualization, or you can make it public. So anyone with access to the Connect will have access to this visualization. Then you can just link to an asset, link to a type, go full screen, switch the asset context, switch the time context, and then this will be available for all your users. And here you can see some of the examples of visualizations we have created for the expo. So you can create from asset, process, enterprise visualization. Here you can see many different options. So if any question, I'm here. Also, we will be in the expo soon, so thank you very much for your time.